Wow, I'm just going to say it. Other than a few QC issues that I'm going to point out during this review, this might be Bumblebee Toy of the Year. I'm serious. I'm that serious, and this is that good. It really, really is. And this is Bumblebee from Brave Troops. I've never heard of this group before, but man, look at that artwork on the box. That's pretty dope. I hope it's not, borrowed. And it says Metamorphic Universe Deformation Vehicle. And on the box, it's pretty much the same, but it's done nicely. And box is all nice. But forget about the box, man. This toy is incredible. It does come with a few accessories, and I'm going to show you all of those in a second. The arm bits, the blades, and the battle mask and stuff. But let me just get the negatives out of the way. The first thing is that mine came with this part missing over here. And don't worry about it. TF Safari is always going to take care of me and take care of y'all if you have any type of QC or like customer service issue and stuff. But this is actually one of the weakest parts of the toy, is that they used really, really weak glue. And in some respects, I'm kind of like appreciative of it, because sometimes you get a toy that has just way too much glue like lathered onto it, right? But this part right over here, these bits, you see that? That's attached at this tiny, tiny little nub that has a tendency to fall out. These bits have a tendency to fall out. And it's not that they're not securely placed. They are. It's just that whatever glue that they used just kind of dried up, and it didn't really do a good job of holding it and holding things in place. But that's fine, because these are all things that one can address, And here's another bit over here. I mean, all you need to do is just apply a little bit of super glue, but I'm not going to do that because I don't really like putting glue on toys. And also, this might go to a friend, so I'll let him take care of that. But that's really about it. And there's going to be a couple of other areas that I'm going to show you. But yeah, so the glue being one thing, let me just move this box. It's getting in the way of the light. The glue being one thing. Another thing is there are some, some impediments in terms of the range of motion. You see that little tiny nub right there? That prevents the arm from doing a full 90 degrees. And so that's kind of like, it's so weird, because this is such a high quality toy. I mean, dude, look at the knee. Look at this, dude. Look at the way the knee works. It feels so alive, and there's so much metal in here. It is so top tier that it kind of boggles my mind as to how they missed little things just like that. Another thing is like the wrist. You can't really spin it because of this impediment. And so you could do that, but then it puts the hand like at an angle, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's another one of those things. But I think that's it. I think that's it. Other than that, dude, there's one other thing. So there's this tire bay that we're going to see when we transform. This side is really loose, and I don't know how to tighten it because it's just like on a pin joint. And so I think if they had just done a little bit extra like QC, maybe use some better glue. Seriously, Bumblebee Toy of the Year. Even with all of these things, I'm inclined to say that this is going to be Bumblebee Toy of the Year. And it's like, dude, we're just starting 2025. You know what I mean? This is, it's really quite incredible. You can see he has nice range of motion. He has this double kind of like shoulder thing. There's what is it? Not a pivot. There's like a hinge there. And there's also a separate one on ratchet over here. That's really cool. The head, obviously very expressive and articulated on a ball joint. The little ears move up and down ever so slightly. Ever so slightly? Yeah. And the way the battle mask attaches is cool. It slides in, but there's also like a small magnet. You see that right there? And so, yeah, you just put that on his face. Yeah, and that's it. And it won't like shake off. So cool. I can appreciate that. Nice face design. Leg, I told you earlier, like that is just so nice. And there is just so much metal. Like this right here is metal. The bits, like all the areas that you would want reinforced as metal, like the hip ball joint, that's all done in metal. And like, dude, do you see that? There's a little bit of red over there, almost like wiring and circuitry. That's very cool. I don't know if that's intentional or some like mispaint, but it looks cool to me. And yeah, this is all metal over here, and just really, really nice design choices. Inside the chassis, there's a bunch of metal as well. It has a good amount of heft to it. I like the wing designs. It does, like in transformation, when we go over it, you're going to see, like, it does remind me of a very, very, very sophisticated Studio Series Revenge of the Ball. I know people hate when I say that. Revenge of the Ball and Bumblebee. And according to the line art, yes, the wings are supposed to be like that, but I don't know, dude. I kind of like the wings spread out a little bit more, so you can bring the tires down, then you can rock this entire bit out. And then once you rock it on the outside over there, you can get that hinge action. And those are all on metal bits, I believe, as well. So say, this is correct according to the line art, but I like that more. I just like that more. I think it gives them more presence. And again, you just kind of hinge that the outside. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love the X formation on the wings. It's just a really, really nice toy. There is no waist articulation movement or anything like that. And, you know, he has like toe tilt. I mean, all of the foot movement largely is because of transformation. But yeah, but it is on a ball joint and stuff. But he won't get like an up. He gets it down. And so just little things that prevent it from being perfect. It's a really nice piece. And I'm not even a huge Bumblebee fan. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like paint, nicely done. You can see there's metallics, there's silvers. The yellow that they use across the toy is consistent, meaning like you don't see one area that's darker or lighter than the other. And they just did like a phenomenal job. Really, really, they did. Even the fingers, dude, each finger is fully articulated and separate from each other. You know that? I was very surprised. I thought it was just going to be maybe trigger finger, but no, each of them like move independently. Up to that joint perhaps, but again, just really nicely done. And the fingers do kind of remind me of like skids and a mud flat. Yeah, a little bit. Nice. It's just really, really nice, man. I've been told that these guys are actually Lucky Cat. I don't know, man. This doesn't really feel like a Lucky Cat joint to me, but I will say that Brave Toys does have an Optimus Prime that's coming up. And you know what? Let me show you how to apply the other accessories. I know I'm just kind of like yipping yapping, but like, dude, this guy is so dope. We're gonna get that over there, and that just plugs in very nice. Almost just looks like an X-Acto knife, like a letter opener. And yeah, it's nice and tight. But yeah, somebody told me that this is a Lucky Cat joint, and I don't really feel Lucky Cat's a design exuding from here. But I will say, if you look at their Optimus Prime that they have coming out, it looks a lot like the Lucky Cat one, the large masterpiece scale one, near identical, other than that the Lucky Cat one is supposed to be from Rise of the Beasts, and the Brave Toys one is from the Bumblebee movie. Now, I may have messed something up. You're supposed to ball up the fist, and this will fit in there, and so I think I need to move the fingers back. The fingers are very, very tight, and so just be mindful of when you're doing that. And so let me do that. Has to be just right, I think. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. Yeah, it's covered very well, and it does what it's supposed to do. Looks good. Not too much paint up in the front, but it's unnecessary. The design and everything, and yeah, it's done really, really well. It's very secure, and just other than the minor bits that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm really, really impressed with these guys. Brave troops. And by the way, if you're going to buy this toy, please support my sponsor and buy it at tfsafari.com. And you can see the promo codes that I have on the top of the screen. You can save yourself $4 if you're a new user, and you can save yourself 3% if you're a returning user. You hear those ratchets? Boy, he's nice, isn't he? He's real nice. And I've just been kind of talking to y'all for about like 9-10 minutes, not really doing much with them. I know, but dude, it's very nice. It's very nice. But I know a lot of folks are interested in the transformation. If you haven't seen the short already, check it out. That is a quick abbreviated version, but we're going to do the elongated full transformation right now, okay? All right, I will attempt to do this from memory, okay? Oh, that's another downside. He doesn't come with instructions. It comes with the QR code, and it takes you to a Bilibili site, but there are videos on YouTube as well, and in the future, I don't know, maybe somebody will use this video. So this back part, you know, he has that spine and everything. It's done decently well. The design is good, the details, and you can see that this one's kind of loosey-goosey. You start bringing this down, then you flip. Oh, you know what? You can actually flip these down first, and then you're gonna make sure that it flips over, and you get the proper clearance, and then you're gonna bring these down over there, and then we're done. No, And then from here, we're going to close up the doors. And like I said, this part also fell off while I was transforming it. And again, it's just, they just needed to use better glue. That's all. So we do that. And we're going to start spinning these around. We're going to start straightening up the doors. The doors you're going to have to maneuver a couple of times just for the sake of like clearance. And so right now, we're just going to have them aligned over here because this whole structure is going to be pushed up because that's the hood of the car. And then on the bottom of the doors in the front, you got to bring these bits down too. And the tolerances, everything is really tight. It has become a little bit looser after I transformed it several times. The first time around was like a little bit scary, so I'm actually happy that things got a little bit loose. But yeah, no, it's still really, really tight, and I personally think it's fun to transform. At first it was a little bit scary, but once I kind of like understood it, and if you're familiar with Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee, in philosophy and in principle, it follows a very, very similar design, but it's just way, 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 way advanced. So, okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting everything right. So these little collar bits, you're going to be straightening out. These will move a couple of times. Like you will straighten them out right now, but later on, when you move up the hood or the front grille of the car, you are going to have to angle them because there's like a tab mechanism, and I'll show you that later. So that's pretty cool. And this is starting to look like the old school Bumblebee that we're familiar with, right? Yeah, a lot of like nice nostalgic bits. This will move up and down as necessary. I would suggest not using this yellow bit to move it up and down. Just use the darker bit beneath it because that is like on this double hinge. And so we'll be using that sometimes. But yeah, for the time being, we'll just have them like that. Okay, now these, actually, you know what? In robot mode, maybe these are supposed to be rocked down. Yeah, I think in robot mode, they're supposed to be like that. And so going into car mode, we're going to flip them up and they're going to hug the leg and it's going to be nice and streamlined. And what you got to do over here is, maybe I should have done that earlier, is you got to dig out these ribs. Need Spudger Patrol over here. Let me see if I can actually dig this out. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, eventually you're going to have to get there anyway. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out the ribs like that. And after you've done that, you're going to pull this down. And after you do that, you're going to pull this up. And, see, this is what I was talking about. This has a tendency to pop off. If you're the final owner of this thing, just glue it in place. Yeah. So we're going to have to move some bits around. And so I'm going to tuck these bits under the window right now. And this will flip up. This is the nose of the car. Then this, what is it called? Grill, fender, or bumper, or whatever. This is going to, I think it's a fender, right? For those of you familiar with car anatomy, maybe you can help me out. So you're going to bring this up. And this head, by the way, unless, like, you're going to have clearance issues if you just try to do this. And so, you see what I mean? And so this entire bit has to be able to, like, rock down. And right now it's getting stuck on something. Oh, there we go. There we go. And look at that. You can already see the nose of the car coming together, and you can even see the hood or the roof coming together as well. So before we do all of that, this is the bit that I was talking about. So there's a little lip right over here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to slightly angle this out ever so slightly. Just enough to get this through. And then now it's hugging the front. Yeah, just very, very minor. And then from there, again, you're going to pivot that down. Then you're going to tab all of these bits in there. Nice, right? Very secure. Look at that gloss. Very, very cool. The arms. I will say the most challenging bits for me are transforming these arm bays, and we'll see that in a second. And then also some of the collision and clunky areas of the leg. oh, this bit, you can return the ribs to their normal place. You can just kind of put it back and have it, you can like close it up. There you go. But yeah, it's just going back to where it was. And then you're going to take the arm and you're going to bring it down to the center. I don't really know what these do. I don't, but that's okay. So the arms are going to be looking like that, right? And there's actually a tabbing mechanism. You see that underneath the forearm? There's like a slot, but don't tab that in yet. And so it's a little hard to manipulate on camera right now. So what you got to do is you have to flip. See, there are two hinges, right? You can see hinge points. There's one here and there's one here. You want to rock that one. You want to rock that You want to rock that one up, but you need the clearance over here. So got to move the kind of tire back. And then as you, there you go. As you do that, you got to open up this part, and then you got to bring that in over here. So now we can kind of return. Sorry, just got to make sure everything's straightened up. Because if not, you'll have some issues later on. Okay, so this will slide in forward. That's great. But do you see that there is this little like tab that's protruding on the edge of this? That has to tab in for everything to work. And so it really, oh, okay, it worked this time. The first time I did it was nightmarish. I just couldn't get it. And you're going to find that this area over here in the end, there's going to be 3 points of connection. Lining those up are somewhat of a burn as well. So now that we've got the arm over there, I feel like I'm doing something wrong or something like that, or because the, oh, no, we're good. We're good. Okay, now the tire, you see that? There's a little slot there and there's a tab. You got to get that in there. Otherwise, the tire will flop around. And okay, I think I got it. Yeah. It won't make like a snap, like a cloud snap, but it will tab in. Oh, see, now this one came untabbed. Tab number 1, and then tab number 2. Oh, okay. Beautiful. And then we do the same for the other side. As Go the Great would say, second verse, same as the first. The first time I heard that, I know it's like an old rhyme from somewhere, but the first time I ever heard that was from a movie called Ghost with Patrick Swayze. What's up, Patrick Swayze? Rest in peace. Okay. So if you need a little clearance, by the way, you can like move this arm around to help you get some additional clearance. So we'll move that forward. We won't fully tab it in place yet because we got to open up this rear bay and then get the tire in between there. There we go. Man, it's so much easier doing it like this than it is for the short, because for the short, I'm trying to keep a very specific perspective. Please tab in. Okay. And you too, please tab in. Okay. I think they're both tabbed in. Yay. Yaser beam. And then we'll just get the doors out of the way. And we can tab the forearms in right there. Slot tab mechanism. Cool. Everything's starting to come together. Right, Heather? And, oh, you know what? Later on, because we're going to need to flip these out. I'm just going to bring these out right now. Yeah, almost forgot about them. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Neat. It's cool. I can appreciate the fact that they didn't go ham with the glue, because, I mean, not having enough glue is something you can resolve at home versus overspray, you know what I mean? Like over usage, then that's a wrap. And so minor things. And so we're just going to lift that up for a second, and this is what it should be looking like right now. And you can see it's kind of coming together. And even this, like, that just looks really nice, dude. And granted, in car mode, this is going to kind of hang down in the bottom, but I don't know. I still think it looks good. So the feet, I think the transformation is very intelligent, but just the collision points, the crunchiness is not something that I'm a huge fan of. But yeah. So this back part over here, we'll just kind of untab that, and then we'll bring this up, and then this mechanism, which is you know what, I'm just gonna spread them eagle. This part over here, that you can see is the back of the car, right? And that will untab, and it will wrap around like that. And that's pretty cool, right? And so for some clearance, we'll move that tire out of the way, okay? And then we'll just kind of move that out of the way too. The feet, all right. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. And also this one on this hinge likes to pop out a lot. And so we're gonna untab this from the back of the foot. And then we're gonna also untab this from the side. When I first untabbed this was very tight and it was very difficult to untab, but now it's not. Both of them are not. And so that's one of the areas that got a little bit looser after transformation. So, okay. What do we do here? So we're going to move, see that little hinge? We're going to move this inward. And then we're going to twist. And the foot is ultimately going to nestle in there. But what we need to do is, here. So this entire section, we are going to rotate out that way, and don't fully do it because we still need to do some maneuvering over there. So see how this foot right now, there's this empty space. You're going to have to push that in. Pretty crazy, quite involved. And then that's going to sit up here, and then you're going to press this up until that piece rests inside here like that, right? I wish there was some tabbing mechanism for the toe, but one doesn't exist. And so whatever, dude, we'll just make do. Okay, so now this part we're going to be lifting up, but you can see that there's all this crunchy collision over here. So what you need to do is you need to rotate that out of the way. Then you need to bring this entire section down, but what is it? It's getting caught. Oh, I totally forgot to bring out this part, the back bumper fender thing. Now you should be able to bring it all the way down. And after you do that, you can rotate that bit back. Okay, this is eventually going to come down, but before we do that, here's where all the crunchy bits occur. This thing has to tab into that part right over here. And then all these tabs and slots, they have to line up on the side as well. And there's a double hinge, so we can get that out of the way. I've actually found that it works best if you start with this one, the bottom one. And so I have that in there. And then, yeah, oh, wow. That worked really well. That's the smoothest I've ever transformed it. And so, granted, I've transformed this thing like, I don't know, numerous times. Was it innumerable? Numero uno? Yeah, oh, and then you got to get that in there. And then this will sit down, and there's a little tab, or there's a slot right there. That's going to tab into the top of the, whatever this thing is. And then this one's a little tricky. That little tab has to go in there. And then you just need to, it's very space specific, so just be mindful. But hey, I'm pretty shocked. I'm pretty shocked that it went in so well. And then we'll just lift up this bit. Then we'll close this up, and we'll close this. And we can bring this down, and it will also tab into place. Otherwise, it's going to be a floppy mess. Dude, I'm really impressed at how well the leg came together. And so this bit, you need to just kind of have it tuck away. It's on a pretty tight hinge, actually. And you just need it to... Yeah, the hinge is like overly tight. You just need it to hide there, because ultimately what's going to happen is this is going to come down, and that's going to tab into place, and this, it needs to have clearance. And so I think it's just like that. I think it's just like that. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I always forget this part. Going back to this leg. Second verse, same as the first. I can't do his voice, and that was my best impression. What's up, big dog? I wonder if Emgo ever seen any of my videos, dude. You know, somebody I like look up to. He's always kept it clean, always kept it classy, ain't never steal no toys. Like, I mean, yeah, I think he's just really, really someone to look up to in the toy space and stuff. He's a kid adult. I always see him like having fun. He has so many different things. He's recognized and sponsored by Big Bad, and nothing but praise for Big Dog. And yeah, if you ever see this video and go, hey, just say what's up, dude. It'll be a huge, huge moment for me. But so you rotate this out again, and this time I won't forget the fender. Hey, I know that some reviewers don't mention other reviewers and by name and stuff, but I mean, I don't care, dude. I just feel like we're people at same school or something. Just other people are senior classmen than me, or they're more popular or something like that. But I mean, it doesn't hurt me none to say their name. Okay. Same thing over here. We're gonna start bending all this stuff, and this is gonna rotate up too. But remember the toe bit. We gotta slide that thing back, and it has to rest in that cavity. What's kind of funny is doing it on the opposite side is quite difficult for me. But I think we got it. I think we got it. And as we straighten this part out, we got to kind of move that out of the way. And let me actually get this in there. Yeah, as best as I can. We'll move that out of the way. Bring this entire section down. And then bring that back up. Make sure the toe does not lose its placement. And I feel like I'm going to have trouble with this. But make sure to line up the... Oh, it's happening. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, you know what? Once you line up the bumper, that's really the way to do it. And so if you end up getting this toy, start with the bumper and then move your way up. And then from here, we're going to get that to push through. And then this will kind of come over on the double hinge. That will tab in there. That's good. And then this part will clow and oh, pleasantly surprising. And then now you just got to bring these bits together. Oh, and then that too. I will say mine, like, yeah, I was about to say the butt likes to kind of come apart. Oh, it's doing better now. But I will say that that's the one piece that like to kind of like split and stuff. And then we bring that down. Freeze, guys. Parija. We're on camera. And then we slide that back. And then we make sure these are up. And then we'll bring that window down. Start bringing everything down. And then the door, you got a double hinge. Move up there, have that tab in place. And maybe I have to do this part last. Or close to last. And then those little holes over there will plug in with the little posts on the door. I mean, you can see we're pretty much done, right? That goes, You see this part falling off. Yeah, again, I've never encountered a toy that used too little glue or used like subpar glue. It's always like the opposite, you know? And so it's kind of interesting. And there's little minor fit and finish things over here, but I promise it comes together a lot better than what I'm doing right now. Let me clean it up off camera. Okay, 1 second. Alrighty, and I think that's about as best as I'm going to get it. And yeah, like I said, that little bit is missing, but TF Safari is going to hook it up, so don't you worry about me. And it's nice, right? Unfortunately, I think I don't know. It is very space specific, and so I perhaps maybe didn't do the best job of aligning everything right, but I promise you, once you get everything in there, it's going to line up. But as you can see, it's kind of like coming apart, and this bit is coming apart as well. And yeah, yo, CC, I know you're going to be the eventual owner of this. You take care of the glue part, okay? Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy. So that's our guy. He's really nice. I did see on the box art that's saying that this can adhere somewhere. I don't know how it does that, but I did see it. Like, I don't know how it does that. Yeah. Like on the pictures on the website, it showed it somehow. Maybe it was that, which is not bad. Not great, not necessarily, but I mean, it's okay. It's okay. That's chill. That's chill. And I don't think the blades fit on anywhere, like unless I were to like tack them on to the back of that. But that looks a little bit tacky. Oh, and I forgot to bring this part down. Yeah, but it totally rolls. Oh, he's about to roll on the desk. He rolls fine. I don't know if these are rubber, but they are rubber-y. It's a phenomenal piece, and if you can transform it right and better than I do, it'll stick together, and you'll have a really, really nice toy that converts, that looks good in alt mode and bot mode. Highly, highly, highly recommend if you're a Bumblebee fan, and also if you have some skill with gluing bits on together, right, with finesse. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you for joining me for these past however many minutes, okay? Bye-bye, friends.